If God does exist, why is there evil? Let's talk about it. I think the first thing we have to point out is that the question in and of itself actually points towards a God. Let me explain. To state that there is objective evil, as the question implies, can only be concluded if there's a standard of goodness from which we can judge that evil from. In other words, the only way we can determine something to be evil is if there's a standard of goodness, and then we can judge an action to see if it meets that standard of goodness or misses the mark. And if it misses the mark, we would conclude that to be evil. It's kind of like if you had a bunch of curved lines. The only way you know those lines are curved is if you have the standard of a straight line to judge it from. Otherwise, if there is no standard to judge it from, the lines aren't straight or curved, they're just simply lines. And so the question in and of itself actually assumes that there's a standard of goodness. Well, the only way that you can have a standard of goodness is if there's an authority above yourself to set the standard of what is good and bad to begin with. We would call this authority God. And it's more logical to conclude that this authority has a mind behind it, as it's able to create and establish law. And law in and of itself holds information, and any time in our world we see information being created, there's always a mind behind it. Think like a computer program. So authority above